Alright, so I have the new Pixel 10 Pro over here and also some other accessories from Google, including the Buds Pro 2 and of course the new Pixel Snap. So really excited about this because this year I'm actually planning to switch from iPhone, and this is not going to be like a YouTube switch. This is going to be a genuine real switch from iPhone to Pixel, but I'll get more into that a little bit later. So let me get these out of the way. All right, that's it. This is a really good color. This is Obsidian. Now, Google was actually about to send me Moonstone, but then I specifically asked to send the phone in Obsidian because I checked out all the colors at the Google event, and I think this is by far the best colors. Pixel case with Pixel Snap. Oh wow, that's very nice too. Like that. That is silicon. Yep. Oh, this looks so good. I like that. These are the Buds 2 Pro in Moonstone, I think. Yep. Nice. Oh, wow. This color is also nice. That's actually not a bad color. These are small too. Pixel Snap. I think this is probably one of the biggest barriers, at least it was for me, when trying to switch to Android. Let's see, how's the magnet? Okay, that is very strong. That's not going anywhere. I'm also a big fan of these stand kind of things and accessories, but I like it when they're just built into the case. I personally use a case like this that just has this kind of stand built in. It's very nice. It also works with all your MagSafe accessories and everything. Now, I was able to switch to this phone just fine. In fact, it actually went a lot better than I thought it would be. I didn't really have any problems bringing my data from my iPhone to here. While setting up this phone, you just follow the instructions on the screen, connect both phones using a USB-C cable, and it just does the whole thing by itself. But the reason why I even switched in the first place is, I think, what's more important to talk about. And for me, the reason is just simply AI. I've said this many times in my videos before. Apple has already fallen way behind on all the AI stuff. I remember, I think last year sometime when they announced Apple Intelligence, I was genuinely really excited because I thought that Siri might finally get actually better. But as we know, that didn't really happen. And the few Apple Intelligence feature we did get, for example, the feature where you can erase objects from photos, they kind of suck. The same feature on the Pixel is way better, like it's not even close. And for someone who knows photo editing, I can understand how this phone does some of those things, how it removes objects and whatnot, but I'm sure for a normal user that doesn't know much about it, they would genuinely be impressed and almost just think it's like magic. Like, it's actually that good. And I haven't even been using this phone for too long to really get a good idea of it. So this is just what I think initially. But speaking of AI, what even surprised me, like genuinely I was shocked, was when I took the first 100x zoom photo, the ProRes photo. I could not believe my eyes what I saw. Like, the results were insane. And I don't think those kind of results are even possible to get on a smartphone camera, but the reason why this phone is able to do that is because of AI. It's actually just generating that extra detail that you see. And so far, like, I'm really impressed. Now, of course, I won't be taking like 100x zoom photos every 2 minutes in my normal day, but it is a nice feature to have. But at the same time, it's not like a necessity. And AI is basically like the whole theme of this phone. Every little thing about this has something to do with AI for the most part. For example, even in normal photos, once you take the photo, you'll see that it does a lot of post-processing to make it look nice. And so far, I've noticed that this phone really just likes to smooth out all the shadows and noise in any photo, which isn't really bad, I guess, but if you know about photos, in that process, you lose quite a bit of detail. So in some photos, the texture doesn't always look the best because it kind of gets all softened up in order to get rid of the noise. And in some places, to bring back some of the detail, it will sharpen the photo artificially, and that tends to look a bit over-processed, and you can see this, especially if you zoom in. But if you don't zoom in, just zoomed out, generally the photos do look really good. Like, for an average person, if they don't know too much about photography, and if they were to look at a photo from this phone and an iPhone, they would probably like the photo from the Pixel, especially because of the colors. I do think the colors look better on the Pixel, but especially skin tones, they do look pretty good, and that is something Google has worked on, and it shows. However, I still think when it comes to video, the iPhone is still the king. And that's just because a lot of the good photos this phone is taking become good after they're being taken, after it does all its AI magic and everything. But that's not really easy to do with a video. So when it comes to video, then you really start to see its shortcomings. But outside the camera, my software experience with this has been amazing. Like the animations are great, the sound effects are great, haptics are really good. And I just haven't noticed random glitches and bugs here and there throughout the OS that used to be a common thing on Android. You can tell that Google has worked to really iron out all the bugs. But the question is how this ages, like maybe 6 months later, a year later, or 3 years later. Will the experience be the same, or will it just kind of fall apart maybe a year and a half later? Now, when you're watching this video, I would have been using this phone for about 2 days or so, and the battery life so far seems to be pretty good actually. So today, for example, at noon it was at 100%, and now at around 10 p.m. after 4 hours of use, this thing is still at 56% battery. This is actually really good because today I was also trying to test this phone using the camera quite a bit, but in my normal day I would rarely use the camera, so this would have been much better. Like right now, the camera has used 33% of the battery. But of course, I will continue to use this thing and monitor the battery, and I will tell you exactly how it goes in my full review video. In fact, I already have a bunch of notes about this phone, and I'm writing everything down, which I will talk about in my full video, including questions that I'm getting from people. So if you have any, leave them below. I will try my best to answer them. And I'll be mainly focusing on the experience of switching to a Pixel as an iPhone user. So subscribe for that, and if you like this wallpaper, link is below, and I'll see you soon.